my name is Tiffany, and I like to play soccer.
My name is Matt Donald. When I was younger, I used to be able to put my whole fist in my mouth. Can't do it anymore because I have lockjaw.
Hey everybody, I'm Kendall Long, and this is Down to Date, the podcast where we bring two complete strangers into the podcast studio to see if they are a match made in podcast heaven. I have Matt with me and Tiffany, and we're going to see if they are down to date.
Oh yeah.
And
Sweet.
Tiffany, you said this is your second blind date.
Yes.
And you said your first one didn't really go too well.
No, it was awful.
Yeah. So hopefully this one is better than your first one.
I hope so.
Yeah, can we get like a notepad so I can take notes on what not to do?
Than last time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. Like, what happened?
You really want to know?
Of course I want to know.
Bring it down.
Yeah. So it was actually a show called Fetch Me a Date. And so the guy
Like a reality TV show? Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so the guy showed up, and I could already tell he was like not my type. And I was trying to be a good sport, go on the date, and we were 5 minutes into an escape room, and he literally said the spirits were telling him that he needed to go home. So he literally ran out of the studio.
He literally escaped.
He
He escaped in the escape room.
Yeah.
The escape room.
Yeah. And I was just like,
It sounds like you were the one who was trying to escape the date, though. So
I was.
it kind of worked out.
Yes, I was. And I was trying to be a good sport, and then he just left.
Well, I locked the door, so you can't get out.
Yes,
so.
exactly. There is no escaping this podcast studio.
Exactly.
And Matt, you are no stranger to dating on TV in a public way as well. Matt was also on The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise, so you know how it feels to have public dating as well.
Yeah. It's super nerve-wracking.
Yes. So now that you guys have both gotten public dating out of the way, hopefully the podcast studio is just not as intimidating. You know, with all the lights and cameras and everything.
Well, and I will also comment, this is like the softest.
Yes, this is
What
meant
is
to
this?
calm you.
This is amazing.
Referring to the softness of the tables, this is just like, it's like the equivalent of petting a dog.
I'm not on like what's the drug that like makes you want to touch everything?
Ecstasy?
Molly?
Ecstasy? Yeah, something like that.
There's a lot of drugs that make you want to touch things.
Well, that's how I feel right now. I'm like I feel so like it's hard not to.
Yes, feel free. You can pet this table all you want.
Okay.
It is the furry table of love we have here in the podcast studio.
Nice.
All right, so just to break the ice, to kind of get to know a little bit more about each other, we are going to be playing a game, story time. You're going to be telling me your life story in 1 minute in as much detail as possible.
Okay.
Oh,
And I'm
jeez.
actually going to do a timer.
Just 1 minute?
All right, so,
Oh, that's like.
well, you have 1 minute on the clock. I trust you. Just in as
I
much
bet you
detail
I could
as
do it in like
possible.
30 seconds, though.
Really?
I'm going to do the highlights of like my life. There's not that much.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
I'm not that exciting of a person, but
Well,
we'll
just
try.
in case, I have a minute on the clock. Your whole entire life story in as much detail as possible. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, ready, set, go.
All right. I was born in Montgomery, Alabama, Roll Tide. I have two deaf parents who raised me. My grandma lived with us my first couple of years. Kind of associated sign language. Oh, crap. I got to hurry. Sign language with talking. So I kind of learned both at the same time. Then I moved to Virginia, lived there for a couple of years, did preschool, all that stuff. Put fists in my mouth. My own fist. Nobody else's. You weren't here for that, so that's awkward.
I was going to say, out of context.
Totally out of context. And then I moved to Spring Ridge, which is in Frederick, Maryland. Lived there for a couple of years, and then I moved to Maryland, Middletown, which is like rural Maryland, a little more farm townish. Lived there, grew up, played soccer in high school. Then I went to a school called High Point University, played soccer there. Then I graduated, went into medical sales, went to Sacramento. And then I went to San Jose, lived there for a little bit. And now I live here just like 3 months ago. Oh, look at that.
That was good.
Right on the
Great.
dot.
Right on the dot, women on the dot. Perfect. Just from talking with Tiffany for a bit, you also play soccer.
I do.
Oh, really?
So
Still?
I do. And I
Yes.
actually am from Virginia, too.
Oh, what part of
I live-
Virginia?
Richmond.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice. Go Spiders, right?
Yeah.
Spiders.
Oh, yeah,
You
the
got-
Richmond Spiders.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such an interesting mascot.
Yeah.
Spider.
It's kind of creepy, but.
Ooh, I like it. Creepy crawly. All right, Tiffany, you have the same thing. A
All
minute
right.
on the clock. Your
Gosh, okay.
entire life story in 1 minute and as much detail as possible. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Set, go.
Okay, so I was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. I lived there until 3 years ago. I went to college. Oh, well, my whole life I played soccer. I was also a dancer. 8th grade, my parents made me choose between dance and soccer, and I chose the route of soccer. So I went to Christopher Newport University, and I played soccer
nice.
there.
You must have been smart, right? Isn't that a hard school?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm taking your time. Did you pause it? Oh, no.
You
Sorry.
can give her compliments.
Go.
Compliments
So
are
yeah, I
accepted.
went there for 4 years, played soccer, also went into a sorority, which was super fun. I always knew I wanted to live in California, so I worked 3 years in finance and then saved up to move out here. I've been out here for 3 years. I literally just picked a date and drove across country and moved out here, which was like the scariest thing I've ever done. Gosh, what else about me? I know there's more. I did a lot of show choir in high school. I'm very active. I like to travel. And
time is up.
okay.
But
That was
traveling
good.
is
No, that was
important.
good.
That was good, man. You guys did get a lot of detail in your life story in
Yeah.
1 minute.
What
Impressive.
sorority were you in?
Alpha Sigma Alpha.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
an East Coast sorority, so a lot of people over here don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about sorority. My school didn't have sororities or fraternities.
Where'd you
so-
go to school?
Academy of Art University, so art school.
Oh, nice. Is that in LA? Where is that?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I always wanted to be a part of like a fraternity or sorority because I
Yeah.
felt like you have like the sisterhood or brotherhood and you already have friends going into it. But alas, alas. All right. So I think that is enough surface level stuff. We're going to get to some maybe some uncomfortable questions. This is
Wonderful.
the jar of
Awesome.
questions you never want to bring up on a first date.
Oh, wonderful. Can't wait.
Yes. And so
Oh, I didn't know I was signing up for this.
Oh yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of controversial questions in here. What are you hoping that's not in here, Matt?
What am I hoping it's not in here?
Yes.
Let's see. That's a great question.
Everything.
Maybe like, how many dating apps do you have on your phone right now?
Ooh, that's actually a good one. I don't have that one in here. I'm gonna write it down and put it in though. Okay, so you can go first, Matt. See if your best fear is realized.
Wait, so do I pull it and she
You pull it,
answers?
you
or-
answer it.
Oh, I have to pull my own?
Yeah. Oh, don't peek.
I believe in you, Matt.
He's
You
trying
got
to
this.
peek. Yeah.
Oh, this is butter. Do you want to have kids? Yes, of course I want to have kids.
How many?
I have 3.
Oh, yeah,
No,
I was gonna say, I was like,
I forgot to include that in my little life story. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I do want to have kids. I don't know how many yet. I would imagine there are a handful, so probably like 2 or 3. Definitely want to have a boy and a girl at least.
it's a comfortable handful. How
Yeah.
about you?
Me? I actually want to have 3 kids.
3 kids.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I
Look
want
at
to have a
this.
boy and a girl, and I want to adopt a kid.
Really?
Oh, that's actually pretty
Yes.
cool.
My mom was adopted, so I always wanted to adopt a kid. So.
I feel like 3 kids is a good number. I have my sister and brother, so we have 3 in our family, and I always felt it was good because if you ever had an argument, you had to strategically figure out how to get the other sibling on your side.
Yeah.
So it built life skills.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, Tiffany, your
Oh,
turn.
God. I don't know what to pick.
The jar to be feared.
Well, this one wasn't too bad, so
Yeah,
I
that
can
was
imagine.
that one. Okay. Would you ever date anyone with a different religious belief than you? Yes. Like, I'm not like against it. Like, I'm very open-minded, so I'm always willing to learn more about other people and stuff like that. So no, I would totally date someone with different religious beliefs.
How about you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think if I personally wouldn't get along with somebody who's kind of closed-minded, and I'm kind of in the same wavelength as you with just being open-minded, respecting everyone's views on everything.
Do you either of you associate yourself with like any specific religion?
I'm Christian. but-
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah.
I feel like
I grew
so
up in
many
the
people
South.
are
It's
Christian.
and you're kind of
Oh,
similar
you guys are from
too,
the same
right?
area, so
Yeah.
maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't as
Southern.
controversial as I was hoping. All right, Matt, choose another one.
This
You
is
can't
like,
peek. He keeps
my
trying to
heart
peek.
beats fast when you have to
I
like
do
draw
too.
with it.
I'm like, my hands
gosh,
are my
you don't know what you're
trembling
getting.
as I'm pulling it.
Oh gosh.
What is the weirdest thing you do in the morning?
Oh.
What's the weirdest thing that I do in the morning?
He's like, well, I can't say that one. So
Yeah, exactly.
Can't let the world know about that.
Well, it's not that weird. I have like a very like specific morning routine where I wake up, I go downstairs, get my coffee, go sit in my bed with my coffee.
I knew he was a weirdo. I knew it.
Such a weirdo. Sit in my bed with my
But you sit
coffee.
in your bed with your coffee.
in my bed, I usually end up spilling on myself too. So like if you look at like some of the V-necks that I have, like my white like Hanes.
Okay, so
there's, like,
Tiffany, he's
circles.
messy.
Ooh.
I'm actually I'm fairly. If you talk to my roommates, I'm usually the
See,
one
he's
who
trying
does the
to like
cleaning.
backpedal now, but we
Yeah.
have.
That's
True.
exactly right.
Do you eat in bed?
No,
Thank God.
no.
That'd be the worst.
The
How about you,
crumbs.
Tiffany? I'm curious what you do in the morning.
Gosh, not much because I literally wake up like 20 minutes before I have to go, and I just get ready super quick and go to work.
Ooh.
Weird thing. I mean, I hit snooze for like 5 minutes.
The audacity of
Oh
this
You
my
are a
woman.
gosh, I
freak.
don't know.
You're crazy.
I really don't. Yeah, I don't do anything weird. I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you don't really realize it's weird until maybe you're living with someone and they see you do something weird in the morning and they call you out.
Yeah.
And they're like, why do you brush your teeth like that? Like, because I thought that's how you're supposed to brush your teeth. I don't know. Anyway, all right.
Maybe
Tiff-
I spend way too long checking my hair before I go out the door. What's one thing?
I will say, Matt, your hair is perfectly coiffed. So I feel like I appreciate the
And I'll
dedication
totally own up
to the hair.
it. Yeah, I was just thinking like from like if I was in like a fishbowl or like on The Sims and somebody was watching me from like down, they'd be like, "Wow, that guy, he says stop checking his fucking
Day
hair."
3 and the hair is
He's literally combed it for 15 minutes. What's wrong with him? Just
I
get
would
out
say-
the door.
I can literally see like the perfect lines of the wave in your hair. So,
Yes.
you know, job
I wish I
well
could like
done.
tag a sponsor in this,
Yeah.
but unfortunately don't.
Man hair gel.
Man hair gel.
All right, Tiffany, one more. Get a good one. I want a good one.
I don't want that great of a one. Oh gosh. Okay. Do you think all drugs should be legalized?
Oh, getting down to the drug section.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Ugh.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
The
What's your
reas-
reasoning for
My
that?
reasoning is just because, I mean, I see a lot of drugs, in people's lives, and I don't know. Like I would just say no.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
fair.
all.
You know what? Fair.
Not all.
Fair.
Some of them are really, really dangerous and not something you want to mess with.
Yeah.
So
True. How about
Yeah.
you, Matt?
Well, just from personal experience, all the drugs that I've done.
Yes. Junkie. I knew
The,
it.
the heroin. It's an interesting kind of topic. Not to get like too out there, but like my question would be: do the people who do like the hardcore drugs, do they do it because they get like an adrenaline rush because they're doing something that's like kind of taboo? So like if that was the case, then I'd say legalize all of it. But if it's more so like I want to do it because I have access to it, I don't know. So it's kind of hard to say. I would love to like see like some sort of analytical data showing why people do hardcore drugs.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument to be made for both sides.
Right.
yeah.
But one that I am not educated on, so I will not get into that. All right. So next, we're going to shake it up a little bit. We're going to do game time after all that intensity. We'll be right back after this break for game time. All right. Welcome back to Down to Date. We are doing game time. I love game time. It's my favorite part. This is the spinning wheel of games. So, Matt, just because you're closest to the spinning
All
wheel
right.
of games, give it a little whirl.
Pick a
That was
good
a
one.
weak whirl. It actually picked up momentum.
Well, I don't want to break the thing. It looks fragile.
Fragile.
Oh, rap battle?
Rap battle.
What?
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold up. I'll be bad at this.
We're gonna try this out. And I will
gosh.
say that I've done the rap
This
battle.
is gonna be fun.
I've personally done the rap battle in the past, and I've epically failed. So you really can't get much worse than I did in my rap battle.
All right, cool.
So you're
Okay.
going to make a rap battle about what you know about each other so far. Just
Oh,
three
goodness.
little lines.
Okay.
3 little lines to make them rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Matt, because you spun the wheel, you're gonna go first. So
Do we have music?
what rhymes? I'll do a little beat.
Okay.
Tiffany, Epiphany.
Oh, okay. That's a good start.
You can steal Epiphany.
That's a good start.
Mariphany. I don't know. Okay, ready?
Mariphany.
That's
I'm just
not
gonna
a
start.
word.
Tiffany, chilling in the studio. Tiffany. I don't. Tiffany, you're
Plays soccer.
you're a soccer player. Tiffany.
Oh my gosh.
Richard, what up? Tiffany, Alpha Zeta Alpha.
Yeah.
Tiffany, or Alpha Sigma Alpha. Tiffany.
Yeah.
God, I suck at this.
No,
I know.
you got some things in there.
Richmond,
Richmond, Stitchmond,
Stitchman,
Tiffany, Epiphany,
Tiffany, Epiphany. Rolls
Nothing really
Royce.
rhymes with Tiffany, except for Epiphany.
Yeah, really doesn't.
Yeah.
That was a good.
You got
I
a
liked-
whole
I
selection with me.
I liked,
You
I
got
liked
so many rhymes.
I liked your riff though. You had like a good cadence to
Thank
your
you.
rapping, so
Thank
I
you.
really, honestly, I feel like there's a lot more things that rhyme with Matt.
Don't put pressure on me
So
like
if you
that.
don't
You've got
do
a
a
lot.
good rap,
You've got
then
a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
have to
content.
judge you. Matt had the hard job. Okay,
Thank
ready?
you.
I'm so bad at this. I've tried to rap before. It doesn't work out. Okay.
Matt, all that.
All right. Just keep whispering.
You can call me fat too, for the sake of the song.
PHAT.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, ready?
Oh gosh. Okay. Matt. I know I'm so bad at this. Okay, hold on. I gotta think of what rhymes with Matt. Okay, Matt. He thinks he's all that.
Oh.
Matt. He thinks he's really fat.
Oh.
PHAT.
Fat. Matt. He doesn't like cats. Matt.
True.
Okay, that
I
was
like
decent.
that.
Do
I
you
like
like
that.
cats? Do you like cats?
They're okay.
I
Yeah,
guessed
cats
on
are
that.
okay.
I guessed.
It depends what cat you
I'm a
meet.
dog guy, personally.
Okay.
It depends what
I
cat
feel
you
that.
meet.
That was great.
that.
As one who's getting a
already
dog
way
in the
better
near
than mine.
future, that was good. You had some rhymes going on.
Oh my
Tiffany,
goodness.
I venture to say that you might have won that rap battle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a
But she didn't
lot.
say anything about it.
That's true.
Oh.
Well, let's just.
You know.
I say
Wow, it's the most
tiebreaker.
narcissistic thing. She didn't talk about me enough in her song.
I want to know more about myself. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like, honestly, though, I got to pat you guys on the back because when I tried to do my rap, I epically failed. And then I tried to go back and like say more raps and epically failed more. So you guys did way better.
Have you and Joe ever done something like have you guys ever been in the not hot seat, but like
We did this podcast together. We had a friend mediate it.
okay.
And
That'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch
it
that.
was very interesting to watch.
Was it?
Oh, yes. Okay, well, that's enough games for now.
Sweet.
Because, you guys both embarrassed yourself enough with the rap battle.
Agreed.
I embarrassed myself more with it. I'm actually very proud of how you guys handled that.
Thank you.
Next, you guys are actually going to be interviewing each other. This is in-depth time. So in front of you guys, there is a stack of flashcards, and you're going to be going back and forth interviewing each other. But I want both of you guys to answer each question. So Matt, you're going to ask Tiffany first. Tiffany answers, then you answer. And then
Okay.
Tiffany goes, vice versa. But I'm actually going to be gone during this time
Oh.
because
We
I
get alone
trust you.
time?
I trust you alone in the podcast studio. So here we go.
Can we get some music? Can I get my phone out and just play some What role, Tiffany, does spirituality play in your life?
Ooh.
Obviously not too much listening to
Yeah.
your first blind date, but
Honestly, not really that much. Yeah, I don't know. Not really that much.
Yeah.
But I'm open if you're into that or something. But I don't know. I'm just.
I'm open if you're into that. Yeah, I'm actually a ghost whisperer. I don't know if I told you.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's your answer to that one?
I mean, like I said, I appreciate open-mindedness. I think to a certain extent, like if it takes over somebody's life, like I
Yeah.
said, like somebody who's like destined to catch ghosts or something. I don't know. I don't know if spirituality is necessarily ghosts, but
Yeah.
I think to a certain extent,
Yeah.
how much it like impacts their life.
I feel that. I'm nervous. When was a time that you were really scared?
Right now. No, I'm joking.
I was like, am I that scary?
No. Dating in general for me is kind of scary. A time I was really scared. Let's see. I was pretty scared to go on reality television and date and put myself out there. That was scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's probably the most recent thing I can think of where I was like legit shaking, scared, nervous.
Are you glad you did it? Or how do you
yeah.
feel now about it?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's fun to do stuff like this. Like,
Yeah.
this is all cool. So, what about you?
A time that I was scared. I mean, Halloween was just recently, and I love going to like haunted houses and
Okay.
stuff like that. Love
Where'd you
it.
go?
I went to the LA Haunted Hayride.
Okay, cool.
And I'm such a baby when I get there. So like in my mind before I get there, I'm like, this is gonna be a piece of cake. It's fine. I love doing this. And I get there, and I'm like the scaredest person there. Like I literally, someone says boo,
Did you have
and I'm like
anybody,
crying, and I'm like, why am I here? Like,
Do you have anyone to like grab onto or something like
like
that?
my friends, I'm
Yeah.
like hiding.
Like,
I always
Tiffany,
wear like a
leave
black
us alone.
hoodie, and like I put the hoodie like over my eyes so I can only see like a little bit. But I don't know why I keep going back to those things, but I love them. I just get so scared there.
So it sounds like for you, like the scary is more so like the like popping out, like
Yeah.
kind of scary. What about like what
Exactly.
scares you like in life? Like what's a fear of yours
In
aside from like the
life.
physical, not physical, but like pop out, you know,
Gotcha.
scary movie kind of
mean,
thing.
I'm not trying to be cliche or anything like that, but like dating. Honestly, dating.
Oh, yeah.
I like don't go on dates because like I just get scared. I don't
What scares
know.
you about it?
I don't know, like just meeting someone and like knowing what to say to them or like getting comfortable with them and stuff. Because like in the past, the guys that I've dated, they're usually like friends that like become more. So it's just I don't know. And I know because I'm super outgoing that it's not going to be awkward, but the fear of it being
Right.
awkward
And you can't get
scares
out.
me,
You're
and
like,
I'm like rather not
Yeah.
put myself in that situation. So like things of like I will say yes to go on a date, and then last minute I'm like, no.
Yeah, you'll find reasons
I'm
not
sick.
to go. Yeah, exactly.
You
You'll find
know?
reasons not to go.
And
for
like
sure.
I just know that I know like if I go on it, it'll be a fine time, and like I'll make the best of it. But just getting there is like
It's like that first moment, right? When you like walk
Yeah.
into a restaurant and like one person's there before you and you're like,
yes.
hey, like, how are you? And you're like
Yeah.
kind of putting on this face, and then you guys sit down, you're looking at the menu, and you're like trying to figure out what to eat, but you don't want to be rude and not be talking.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
tough. It's like a whole
like,
algorithm.
Why do I overthink that kind of stuff?
I do
but
too.
It's just like I don't know, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do this.
Right. You know what
So-
I think a sign of a good first date is like if you go out in a restaurant and like you guys, the waitress or waiter keeps coming, like,
Yeah.
do you guys know what you want yet? And like you're like, oh, sorry, we haven't had a chance to look at it. You know what I mean? Like it's just those kind of like little things that are like indicators, in my humble opinion, of like good dates. But I think we both have had bad dates in the past where it's
Yeah.
like, I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom and like never come back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, whose
Yeah.
turn is it?
I think it's your turn.
No, I just went. Oh wait.
I did the scared one.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. When was the last time you really connected with somebody? Huh.
Ooh,
Let's see.
let's talk about your ex.
Connected, like, and connected. There was a girl that I was like very briefly dating after the show, the Paradise show in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we connected, but it just didn't work out.
Was she on the show with you?
No,
Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she was. We had like a similar, like we worked similar jobs, so we kind of connect on that level, and it just
Yeah.
kind of fizzled out. So, what about you?
Can I ask why it fizzled out?
You know what? That's a great question. I'm still trying to figure out too.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
It was a while ago though. It's not like I'm like still
Yeah.
like hung up on it or anything like that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
what about you?
Last connection I had. Oh, so it was probably when I was working like my old job. It was this guy that worked with me, which I've learned now.
I heard that's the
never
worst. Yeah, I heard it's the
Don't
worst.
date anyone you work with.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's not good. Anyways, back to the story. But yeah, like he kind of just like was always in my ear kind of thing, and he grew on me, and yeah, we just had a connection, and then he ended up moving to Texas.
Oh
So
shoot!
yeah, it
Same
didn't-
company? Like, did he?
No, he
Okay.
he moved to a company that like he was more passionate about and stuff
Okay.
like that. But we're still friends. Like I kind of stay friends with all the. That sounds bad. All my exes.
No,
so-
that's a good. That's
No,
that's
I just,
actually a good
like,
quality.
Once I'm over it, like it's like I'm over it, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like
I pride myself in that too. Yeah, it's
I
a
don't
good thing
like
to brag
like,
about.
close doors. Like I don't know. I'm just a friendly person, and
Yeah.
I like to keep people in my lives that like meant something to me. He's a good guy, and it just didn't work out because
Okay.
he lived. I don't do long distance either, so
Oh,
it's
I've never
just-
done long distance, but I can imagine.
Don't do
I would
it.
imagine it's horrible.
Oh my gosh, no.
It's really difficult, I would think.
Well, good job on your own. You know,
Thanks.
I feel like you didn't even need me. You guys were like having a normal conversation like people do. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. So next we're going to go into honesty time.
Ooh, honesty. I
Every
like it.
time you announce something, I get like super nervous. I'm like,
like
it's
anxiety.
getting worse.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
more
um,
scary.
Shit, what's gonna
Next
be?
step,
What's gonna
sharks
happen
in a
next?
dunk tank with lasers attached to their heads.
Can't wait. Let's go.
No, that would actually be really cool. There are no sharks and no lasers. But yes, so this is honesty time. So I'm going to have a little private chat with each of you guys, and then we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
So Tiffany, I'm going to keep you here first. Matt, would you mind giving us some time?
Sure. I'll see you guys soon.
Now she's mine because you stole her earlier. Honesty time. All right, so honesty time. So we're going to get real honest here.
All right. Let's do it.
Yeah, I want to know what your first impression was when you met Matt.
He's cute.
Okay.
Way better than my last blind date.
Yes.
For sure.
Way better than last blind
Yes,
date. There was
for
no
sure.
escape rooms.
Yeah. This was way better.
Oh, nice. What were you expecting when you first met him?
Before, like,
Yes,
before I met
everything.
him. I don't know. I wasn't, honestly, since the last time, I wasn't expecting much. That sounds really bad, but like,
No, but I understand that.
I like didn't set my expectations high because I just wanted to like see who y'all thought I would be good with. But yeah, it was good.
Oh, no. Any red flags that came up during? I always ask this. Always the red flags. You have to know.
Honestly, no.
Okay.
Which I usually find the red flags. I'm pro at that.
It
but
seemed like a really easy conversation.
yeah. And
from what
like
I got.
when he was telling his life story, we have so much in common.
Yes.
That he lived in Virginia and
Soccer.
that he played soccer, and I was just
Right?
like,
And
"Are
we were joking about
like,
your fact earlier. I'm like, no, lead with soccer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very strange, very strange. But yeah, we're like very similar in a lot of ways.
What's
Yeah.
your normal type like?
My normal type? What is my normal type? Personality wise,
Both.
I like.
Or what guys do you normally date? Let's just say that.
I will say from my past, I like guys that are in bands.
Oh, band guys.
Rock
Band
stars.
guys. I'm not sure if Matt's in a band.
But like I'm like, open.
Okay.
But yeah, like I just like I'm very simple. Like I like a guy who makes me laugh. If you can make me laugh, that you've won me over.
Humor is key.
Yeah.
I will say
like
this.
make me laugh, we're good. I don't know, just someone who like, has drive and knows what they want to do with their life, even if it's not exactly what they want to do, like in the direction of what they want to do with their life. Someone that's determined and someone who's just a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you didn't date a lot.
No, I don't.
So this is kind of out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do
Yeah.
you feel like putting yourself out there in a podcast?
Before, I would say I was very like nervous, and it was like nerve-wracking just because I don't know who I'm going to talk to if they're not as outgoing as me, or like I don't know. It was nerve-wracking, but sitting down and talking to him, it was comfortable. It was easy. It was like I was talking to like somebody I knew. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I felt kind of like the easy vibe going
Yeah,
through the
and he
podcast.
like knows how to hold conversation well, which I wasn't. I feel like a lot of times I'm like driving the conversation and like, okay, what do I need to ask next, kind of thing.
Yes.
But it was never like that. I felt comfortable just talking. Yeah, I didn't feel like people were watching us or anything. It just felt like us in the room. So
Nice. Well,
yeah.
this is called honesty time for a reason.
Yeah.
And at the end of this, we are going to say if you're down to go on a second date or not.
Oh gosh.
What do you think? What do you think Matt's going to say?
I don't know. I'm usually good at like reading guys, but I don't know if he wants to go continue this.
I will say I am also in a state of mystery.
Yeah.
You never know.
Like he seemed like we were connecting well, but then again, I don't know what's going on in his head. So
Yeah. True.
yeah.
True. Fair. Well, we're gonna bring Matt in, get a little bit of honesty time, and we're gonna get you on out of here so you can't hear our conversation.
Alrighty.
I'll see you in a bit, Tiffany.
All right, sounds good.
Honesty time. So, what was your first impression of Tiffany when you came in the studio?
Yeah, she was really sweet. Yeah, she was like open and outgoing and like wasn't awkward. That's
This
the
is
biggest thing. She wasn't awkward. That always sucks when you meet someone for the first time and they're
Right? And there's like the dead silence.
oh yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, I will say there wasn't dead silence.
No, yeah,
There's
it was
definitely
good conversation.
That's
Yeah.
a good start.
It seems like we have a lot in common too. Like she grew up on the East Coast. She played soccer in a sorority. I was kind of similar.
True, right? What player are you in soccer?
Like what position?
Yeah. I guess probably
Depends.
the
It
right way
depends
to say it.
on when you ask me. If I said college, I'd be like, I didn't even know what position I played. I was on the bench the whole 4.5 years I was there.
And college is an intimidating sport arena.
Just rode the bench big time. I still don't really have a position. I played strike. It depends on what league, but striker or defense. Or
Okay.
center back.
Because Tiffany was talking to me and she's striker, and I was like,
Oh, okay.
But usually my sister was defense and I was striker, so we had got to fight against each other. But anyway, you guys can both score goals, which is great. So how has your dating life been since everything?
You know what? To be honest with you, I thought it would be this is going I've met all these women and it's great, and it's pretty much, if anything, it's made it even harder for me to date.
Why would you say that?
I overthink everything, as that was one thing that was shown that's pretty accurate. I have a tendency to overthink a lot of things. So going on dates with people, I kind of question their intentions, and going on dates before going on TV and then going on dates after, you wonder well, would this person really be being so I don't know, friendly or acting like the date's going so well
if they didn't know who I was, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because they have already a preconceived notion of who you are.
Well, some people have no idea, which is what I'm looking for. Would prefer that. Most people don't, to be honest with you. But there's obviously some that.
Yeah. What's your normal type when it comes to dating? What kind of people do you normally date?
Oh man, kind of all over the place. I don't really. I know this is a horrible answer, but I don't really have a type. I think somebody who's, the obvious, right? Somebody who's kind, somebody who's outgoing and social, and somebody I'd feel comfortable bringing around to my family and friends and not have to feel like I have to cater to them to make sure they're happy. Mm-hmm. You know, that somebody like that.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like it sounds like you've had experience is where you had to cater to somebody.
Yeah. I've found myself dating girls who are a little more on the shy side.
I see.
Yeah. So sometimes it's trying to bring them into the conversation and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Having more openness and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, at the end of this podcast, you always say if you're down to date or not. What do you think Tiffany's going to say?
I don't know. I feel like the safe answer is to say she's not down, so that if she is down, then it makes me look okay.
Right?
Last thing I want is to be oh, she's totally in love with me, and then she says no, and I'm like, shit.
I knew it.
Yeah,
She's scared of her feelings.
I think it's a good conversation. I honestly don't know. I didn't really get to know more about her type and what she's looking for.
True.
So that's some stuff I'd like to know. But
do you feel like there's any questions that were unanswered for you?
There's a lot that I can't think of right now. I guess I would love to know what she's looking for, and
life-wise or person-wise?
I think both.
Okay.
I think relationships are kind of two people coming together and whatever they're trying to accomplish, whether that be career or family or whatever it might be. So.
Well, this is the first initial hangout/date, so. I feel like for a first date, it's fun to have people in the podcast ask questions they wouldn't normally ask each other. So that way it creates kind of a cool dynamic.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, at the end of this, we do get to honesty time. We're going to bring Tiffany in and we're going to see if you guys are down to date. Are you ready?
I'm really nervous.
So in front of you guys, you have a card. One side says down, one side says not. And the count of 3, you're going to reveal your choice and also say in the mic, down or not. Are you ready?
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh.
I know.
Can we get a fan in here or some wipes
Bring on
or
the
something?
heat.
I'm sweating.
All right, ready?
Oh gosh. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Down? Oh, thank gosh.
I was like, I don't want to be rejected.
I was so worried. Oh, that's a relief.
Oh my gosh. Whew, I can breathe.
Well,
I can
thank
breathe.
I thought she was nervous because she was going to say not. I'm like, oh, shit, man.
I didn't want to say down. You say
This
not.
is going
and
to
I
go
was like, oh my
viral.
gosh.
Matt looks like a loser. It's going to be the caption.
Well, I'm glad you guys are both down. Thank you so much for being on Down to Date, Matt and
Awesome.
Tiffany.
Yes.
We're the wedding bells. We're getting married.
Yes.
Elope.
I need confetti or something. Tune in next week for Down to Date, where we see if our next couple is down to date like this, guys. See ya.
Oh, sweet.